Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys are all doing good today. It's Friday, February 7th. Still freaking cold AF here. Pulling up my chat, my phone. Who was it that was a wiener? I think it was Luminous today. Yes, Illumi? But she did get a notification. I can't lie. She got a special notification. Hey, Pink and Mimi 8B. Hope you're doing well as well. I'm hoping everybody has seen the video by now that I posted, right? Hey, Auntie. Crazy Mom. We needed to figure out something cool to make you like. See, I put thought into that one. That's so irritating. It broke. Anyways, of course, of all of them, you know. Hey, Robin. So, Rosemary, Jody Sue's over there working overtime, and it's really, from what I hear, been just like trying to send weird messages to Andy, and then supposedly suddenly has his schedule somehow the week that, or the day that Summer went missing, just, you know, that just appears allegedly. Like that means anything when you even said you're his boss, like would adjust the time card for him and cover for him. So you're the one that's put this stuff out, Jody Sue. We have nobody. I mean, a lot of this stuff, a lot of stuff you've said has completely backed up things that I've been saying, but then you want to go back on what you've said and mad when people realize what actually is the truth. I don't understand the pushback that I don't get it, guys. Like somebody sent me a screenshot of, well, I didn't get a screenshot of this. Actually, I was told this. I need a screenshot of it. They were supposed to get one, but anyways, innocent until proven guilty was in Crystal's chat as one of them. And they were saying things like trying to remind them, like, and then they put winky faces like that Fred has court next month in Hawkins County and stuff, that Fred's going to be in Tennessee next month, like winky wink face. Like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Innocent until proven guilty. What is that supposed to mean? Some people over here are obviously in the wrong community if they are not here for truth and justice. And that means no matter who was involved, you guys are just mad because it looks like the Zigster was right. With that, I've tried to tell you guys all along to please listen to Fred for years now. And you're mad that I'm right? And now you want to like rewrite history and try to confuse things and make things seem different. It really doesn't make sense, the intimidation and blackmail. And well, really, there's no blackmail. You guys, they try to blackmail us. There's really none on us that, you know, putting out that, oh, don't buy Ziggy's products. They saying that I'm promoting because I put a Hello Kitty on a grinder, which Hello Kitty is not just for children. A lot of people like Hello Kitty, okay? I mean, come on. And then she was trying to say, oh, don't buy it. It's poison. It's toxic. Dude, the freaking mold is for resin, you idiot. They sell it on the art resin, once cured, is not toxic. So anyways, and I showed that in my short that I put that up there. She's doing things like anything she can to try to, you know, cause some kind of like harm to us in some way, whether it be, it doesn't matter, any way she can, financially, you know, emotionally. I'm like, I mean, and now they're encouraging the physical stuff, which I've already seen. I've seen for freaking months around here. And nobody says anything. Why is nobody freaking saying anything to these people when they're encouraging people to like hunt Fred down and stuff like that? And saying, "Oh, winky face, Fred will be in Tennessee next month." That doesn't seem right. That doesn't, how do people not see that as some kind of like tampering or trying to rewrite history? How is this okay? I don't understand. And then the reason I was hoping you guys had all heard that call that I posted, because I really don't want to listen to it again. It gives me really, really bad anxiety. I get a really, really, really bad feeling about it. I could not listen to it like back after I did it until yesterday when I shared it with you guys, because it was so upsetting to me. Because something doesn't feel right. Okay, yes, it's great that he's confirmed for us that Andy was on the road by saying that they've interviewed Andy several times about that. And that, yes, he was on the road probably earlier, is what he said. But more importantly, who's this blue truck? That's great. I mean, I'm happy to have, you know, the little bit of vindication in that. But something doesn't feel right, you know? And it shouldn't, it's not right that people, for some reason, and I don't know. It just, I don't know what to think. And I've got plenty of texts from you guys and messages and emails concerning like what you believe could be going on. Some think even like it varies. Like people are saying, oh, well, have you ever noticed how detectives are nice to the suspects and mean to the, or like nicer to the suspects or something, as a way to make them feel comfortable? And yes, I've thought of that, but I still feel something. It just doesn't feel right to me. And you guys, like in my emails, if you read them, I literally said Hawkins County. Like they knew this stuff. Everything in that email was done with Hawkins County. Like they already knew about it. So I just was letting TBI know, like just to make sure there was no miscommunication, because I'm like, okay, what is going on? And then I get a call back from Pruitt, of all people, the one person, I'm sorry, that I was trying to avoid. That was weird. And I have others thinking that that was some kind of intimidation on their parts. Like, you know, because weird that I got a call back at Pruitt, of all people. Fred never worked with Pruitt. Wasn't even around at the beginning, so I don't know what to think. And it just, I don't, but at the same time, like I said yesterday, I've tried to put myself in people's shoes or in his shoes and understand. I'm sure it's really, really difficult being in his position and a lot of pressure on him and stuff. And then I'm like, has Andy taken a deal of some kind? Did he get, is he snitching on everybody? Is that why, what's going on here? I mean, he's done it before, allegedly, with Red Lawson's son, him and Jody Sue. Right after he got out, the guy got out of prison, they set him up with cocaine to get themselves out of some trouble, allegedly. So could something like that be going on? Could Pruitt be using Andy? Because I know. And then people think like, oh, thank you so much, Aunt B. I appreciate that. Like I said, it helps us be able to keep doing this. And that's why I've kind of moved away from this. I can't afford to be, especially emotionally. I can't afford to keep like, I mean, this is dangerous, to be honest. Like, this is getting dangerous. And I really don't make money like people think I do. But I have such a I mean, we do obviously a little bit. I'm monetized, but I don't make the money people think I do at all. Like, I struggle just like everybody. Um, and it's dangerous, and to have so many push back and try, give us so much shit and stuff for trying to do the right thing, and then have it just doesn't like the positives right now are not outweighing the negatives. It's a lot. And to have people like coming by now, taking videos and pictures, the threats, the weird, intimidating threats. Like, they don't straight up say, oh, like, make threats, they take intimidating. They try to say things like, about, oh, us being under the same house now, about when we're going to be in Tennessee. Like, why? What did Fred do wrong just because he answered the questions truthfully that he saw when they asked him who he saw that day? I mean, he just mentioned Andy Bernard. Bernard did not or Fred did not put that information out himself. It was when I went down there January of 2022 and talked to him when the information came out. No, they can't do that, Lady Bird. It's an active investigation. They can't do that. Fred never cooked meth, Dealer Dave, at all. He never cooked meth. He never, ever has cooked meth in his life. So, this is the type of stuff that people are like pushing to try to, but it doesn't matter, guys, what people's pasts are. The truth is the truth. He's on camera. What don't people get? It doesn't matter. Like, I heard of people like trying to discredit and say, oh, they're past. First of all, what past of mine are you fucking talking about? And secondly, as far as Fred, like, what's that? Everybody on Ben Hill Road does drugs. Are you kidding me right now? It doesn't matter what kind of mind state Fred was in. There's video footage. It's what people like don't understand. It doesn't matter. You can discredit me and Fred all you want. It's on video, guys. That's what I'm trying. Like, the truth is the truth. Could Andy be working with Pruitt to get out of trouble? Very well, possible. And probably Jody Sue too together. I don't know. But I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know, Lady Bird. They never told us not to say a thing. They never told Fred ever, never. Of all the times that he has met with them, never once told him, like, don't say this or don't say that. But nothing was said for a very, very long time. I mean, they know Fred's kind of a quiet guy. Anyways, like the officers Fred worked with, he knew since a child. And especially one of them. And so yeah. The first two, but there was others, like they're the ones that, originally that's how it got started. But see, Pruitt didn't come into the case really until like way after. And I don't know. But yeah, they never told us not to say anything or anything, you know? I said it in the call. You can confirm it 100%, Lady Bird. Did you not watch the call? I'm sitting here talk. I mean, did you not read my emails? I'm sitting there saying Andy Bernard was on the road. He's not sitting there going, no, he wasn't. Where'd you see that? No, you do. He knows how I know Andy was on the road. Just like the other people have seen it. That's why he's not questioning it. That's why he said, oh, we've questioned Andy about that several times, along with FBI and TBI. I did go to ask Ansley Daniels, like, but I'm not wanting to freaking. It just is. I don't want to be on the bad side of law enforcement. You know, like we're. I mean, I don't. I thought. I don't understand what is going on. And yeah, there's other people who are saying things like that. Oh, they just want to see if you know who was driving the blue truck. Like they're trying to hide that or something. I don't. It's freaking crazy, guys. And I did not put it out for 2 months just to try to respect like the investigation and Pruitt. Because, even though I mean I cried after that because I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like I've been working for years on this, you know, and like my whole life, and like Fred worked for them, and you know, just to. And they know Andy was on the road for them to, you know what I mean? So it's just so freaking wrong. Well, it's an email. It's in the call. I mean, it's crazy that people want to just like need actual like it written down and signed by the police or something. Just like when I released my call in the incident where the credit card situation, people wanted to change history with that too and refused to listen to the truth when it was right in front of their face, just because they did not like me, or just because they were friends with others and they wanted to fit in. That's a similar thing happening here. People just don't want Fred or I to be right about this. And law enforcement went right down to Fred right after and said, he's trying to, you know, basically set you up. Right after to Don, or right after to Fred, when Don left there. Went right down there after. They already knew what's up. They already knew what was up. I mean, he doesn't have to. I've heard too, like, to be honest, before I was warned about him before I had my call with him by somebody who worked with him for a long time. And they just said, like, he's just dry personality like that. And that was before I even like talked to him or anything. He said they were like, he just has a dry personality. He doesn't conversate and joke around with the others like some of the other investigators do. He's not very personable. He just walks around kind of keeping to himself, like with his head down, you know, just kind of just doing his thing, you know. And it's hard to and they said too that it seems like when you're talking to him, like that he's totally uninterested in everything you're saying, and that he's completely like just like not hearing a thing you're saying. That's what it feels like. And it did feel like that in that call. But very odd the way, I don't know. I felt like my instinct at first, I always trying to make Andy comfortable, but now I'm leaning more towards like, okay, Andy's been probably working with him because they knew he was on the road, and they're probably like, you need to tell us what you know or you're getting charges. That's the only thing now at this point that is freaking making sense, unless there's some kind of corruption. And I pray to God that is not what's going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knew I was a YouTuber and they called me. I sent it in an email. And I sent it to TBI too. And because I was trying to get around Pruitt, because I was told that he doesn't believe like the parents are involved or anything. And so and plus I truly wanted to make sure that it wasn't anything against like Pruitt or anybody at Hawkins. I just wanted to make sure, because I'm like, listen, why is nothing being done here? Like, you guys say you don't have leads, but that's a lie. That's which is, I get they're allowed to lie. I get that. But you have leads because you have somebody on the road who says they weren't on the road, and you have a vehicle down there that was with them that's never been back there before, or, never been seen before, never been seen again. And that's not a lead. Why aren't we putting this truck out there? That's a good point a lot of you guys have made. Why haven't we been a BOLO for this truck? You know what I mean? And they already knew. Hawkins County should have known everything in those emails already. So, especially the one he responded to. I don't think that Justin I think they just kind of find you. Yeah. I think he would. I actually think she would like Fred. I mean, look how she treats people who are like Dawn Wells. Look at Chris Proudfoot. You really think that she's gonna freaking be shitty to Fred? I think you're completely wrong, lady. I think you'd be highly disappointed in that case. He's not the one that's hiding and lying about being on the road, is what you don't get. He's not the one that hasn't been working with police, and he recorded from on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. You really, truly think that Nancy Grace is she's going to know this stuff? You really think like they're going to be like, oh, you're a horrible person? So I think that you need to be more realistic. I think you're listening to the wrong people, because that's not how it would go down. Yes, it was on cam. Brokenhearted. He worked with the cops. Any stupid comments like that? Like, I'm seriously. How many times was the truck on cam? Like, what? Or where have people been the last freaking 3 years, guys? Sometimes I wonder about some of these people. Like, what the hell? That's why I don't understand. People need to, like, seriously, when I hear people, like, the stuff that they believe in this case, like, is so off. Like, how long have I been preaching that this truck's on the road and Andy's on camera? Yes, the freaking truck's on camera. If it goes all the way back down to, the only way you can avoid the camera is if you don't go past Jody Sue's driveway. And that truck went past Jody Sue's driveway. Yes. How many times do I have to say that Fred saw a still shot, was shown a still shot by law enforcement of Andy and the truck in one still frame, and asked if he knew who were driving those vehicles? So yes, they were on camera. So yeah, that's why it's weird. You don't think it's fucking weird? I get a call back from Pruitt, Hawkins County, with stuff they should already know. He wasn't freaking denying anything I said. That's for sure. He was confirming it. He was saying, we've interviewed Andy Bernard multiple times about him being on the road. People can try to change that. I don't know how people in their heads, like, they let their minds like play tricks with them, and just, I don't know. But I'm seeing that a lot in the world. Like, what's going on? I mean, seeing Elon Musk making out with a robot the other day. About the truck. What was it about a truck? Did somebody say something about a truck? So I could tell, like I like I said, I try to think about it from other people's point of view, you know, and his like mindset at the time, and the pressure on him, and you know, all the everything being putting out on YouTube and stuff. And I'm sure he's heard a lot of I'm sure it's stressful. So, and then at the same time, I was also thinking, like, there's supposed to be some kind of gag order, you know, on law enforcement at Hawkins. So, you know, is he afraid to say the wrong thing? You know, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble like that. Get anybody in trouble for at all. At all. I even said to him, I said, anything that you do not want on YouTube, please let me know. And I would definitely respect that. They have never, like, Fred has told me several times, they never told him not to say anything, ever. But it was secret for 6 months that actually, it was secret for a year, because it wasn't until his second visit that I think you said you recorded for him. Or was it the first one? I don't think you said no, you didn't say on the first trip that you recorded for law enforcement. So it wasn't until actually, I think it was a year later. He mentioned about Andy being on the road and stuff, but he didn't volunteer the information that I don't think you mentioned at that time. But yeah, a gag order. Like, they can't speak on the case at all. Like, they're not able to release any information on it. So that could put you in a position where, okay, how do you question somebody? And you might be afraid to say the wrong things. You know? I could tell that he was afraid to say the wrong things. Well, I guess I'll reach back out to Ansley. I really didn't want to freak. I don't like that. I wish somebody else would do all this. Seriously. Because look at the shit that we get for just trying to. Fred is the one that saw Andy on the road, you know? Like, that's important. So how do we just let that go? And just be like, oh, well, I guess. Like, it really bothers us. Bad. People don't understand. Like, why don't they put themselves in our shoes? Can you imagine being in Fred's situation and you see somebody on the road, you work with law enforcement, and then and you're out here years later and people calling you a liar, and you know, like for a fact, you saw him on the road, and you know law enforcement knows, and all this shit's happening. Can you imagine? How do you let something like that go? Like, why the hell, you know, it's like, it bugs you. It bugs you. It's like, why? You know, they're going, oh, we don't have any leads. We have nothing, you know? Or, and oh, nothing new. 4 years, 3.5 years later. Who's that, Kate? Yeah, I know. I'm wondering which one she's talking about. What's it? I know, right? That's what I'm saying, misdemeanors. Like, they put out a description of this red truck that people still are, you know, arguing over. But the description of the blue truck is around a 2005, 2007, and Fred's very, very good with vehicles. So I would take this pretty. I'll tell you on things that's not his strong suit. Okay, Fred's strong suits are his memory and his observation skills. They are insane. Okay, his hearing is bad, and his sometimes he's dyslexic, so sometimes when he's reading it mixes things around and he doesn't read it right. But as far as observing things and what's there and what he remembers is way higher than most people I've seen. Okay, so you got to think too, Fred was been half deaf since he was a child, so his other senses have been heightened because he's had to overcompensate for that. But the blue truck was a 2005 to 2007 dark blue truck. It looked like a GMC Canyon style, no back seat, so single cab, and the paint on it was like looked like brand new paint. It was like nice, shiny. It was really great condition and kept really good. Maintained really well. The windows, the side windows and the back windows were so dark you could not even make anything out. The front window was very dark, but you could make out two shadows or two people. And I guess they did not get, as far as what it seems like, they didn't get the license plate, I guess. I mean, oh, thank you, Annie. Hold on. I need to open that.
If Ed Redmond turned his footage in, it should have had a tag number on his footage. Because the way
but you know, we didn't have a chance to tell Pruitt that because he freaking hung up.
That's what I was wanting to tell you.
You know, it just doesn't make sense. Somebody who's wanting to solve the case would be talking to Fred, guys. It just does not make sense. They even freaking, you have no idea all the stuff that is involved here, and I cannot wait for you guys to all. There's certain things you don't know about, because I know people are going to just be like, think we're full of shit. So, and if we can't prove it, then I'm not going to freaking put it out, because I'm not going to sit here and listen to people try to call us liars and act like, you know. Let's see. Let me read what Andy put. Hold on. I meant to do that. I went to look and then. Aw, she says, so Annie says, oh, shit. I don't think I was supposed to say anything, but thank you so much. I'm sorry. think that one. My bad, Annie. All right, guys. He hangs up on everyone? Oh, I don't. I did interrupt him. I should have just let him speak, but I could feel his energy. You know what I mean? Like, he was not like. That's why I was so freaking nervous. Like, something.
I mean,
Which,
even when I had my phone dipped and stuff, last when I talked to investigators, them three, they didn't even want to push none of that even on Pruitt's desk because they said they wasn't nothing going to TBI from Pruitt's desk.
yeah, and that's the whole reason why we did the email. Why I felt necessary to do the email. Because I kept thinking about what they said. So I'm like, well, maybe we should send it to TBI. So, there's more investigators looking into this, or like maybe they don't know about it. Maybe Hawkins County really wanted to be able to solve it themselves and kept certain things for themselves. I don't know. So, because we heard that too. We know that they really were wanting to, not get TBI involved. But this is something, it is very much bigger. But I just sent it in. It was nothing against any investigator, not Prue or anybody. You would think they would be happy to get this case solved. I mean, I don't know, guys. Do you think it's possible that Andy could be working with Pruitt? Like, talking on people? I mean, it would be a really good way to. Nobody would really think that. Nobody would really think that because of.
I mean, he would be talking to a different ones if he was talking, most likely. If he was snitching on people, most likely.
Yeah.
He would be talking to the special.
And that would be snitching, Andy. That's snitching. To try to get yourself out of trouble, that's snitching. Not for, say, when the police ask you who you saw on the road when a little girl went missing, and he just, mentions you thinking it's no big deal at the time. And here we are, like 3.5 years later, and now Fred's the bad guy because he just told the truth, and you can't come up with a reason to say why you were out there. You just want to discredit Fred instead? One second, guys, okay? Okay, sorry about that. Hey, Angela. I think I remember you. Hey, Shannon. Yeah, I mean, so it's either, to me, it has to be either. I don't know. I wish we would have got a screenshot, but I'm sure somebody, because of course, Crystal doesn't obviously know how to keep her chat up, but innocent until proven guilty. you are not for Summer Wells. I don't know if you are Tim Mullins, or because I heard an innocent until proven guilty account is Tim Mullins, one of them. That there's a couple though. There was one in Crystal's earlier who was encouraging Andy to harm Fred, when and let him know, just a heads up, hey, wink wink, Fred's gonna be in Tennessee next month. Who's that, Bushi? He doesn't hang out with anybody. What do you mean he places himself with sus people? He's here in Indiana. We don't talk to anybody. Or have any, I mean, it's just us. I mean, of course, when you're in the drug game, that's what freaking happens. Duh. You're around sus people when you're using drugs and in that game, in that life. That is just how it is. It's not only Fred, it's anybody who's in the drug world. Angela, dang, you've missed a lot, dude. If you haven't been here for a long time, then that's crazy. You'd be shocked about everything that's happened. Do you need money for protection? No, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting I wouldn't know. I'm fine. Thank you, Sportsbook.
There ain't nobody in a blue truck threatening us.
Yeah. It's not a blue truck threatening us. Sportsbook's just trying to be funny and like completely change around what I said just because he thinks he's funny when he's not. I know he was trying to send him a secret message like, oh, Andy, don't say anything. Be careful what you say. He definitely didn't hang around as sus people as freaking Andy Bernard. That's for sure. Or Don Wells, Bill Shipley, and Cotton Simpson and stuff. I mean, Cotton Simpson was there at Fred's twice. Don to get drugs, or one was a boat, right? Yeah, and then the other time was to try to get drugs, right?
Once tried to get drugs, but second time he talked about the boat and then he changed to drugs, trying to get drugs.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just that's part of the reason why Fred was valuable to them, because he was in that scene, in the drug scene, and you're around, you know, a lot of not good people, but there is a lot of bad people, or a lot of good people who are addicted, you know, just addicted. But when you're in that lifestyle, there's just certain things that some are worse than others, but you know, you lose your integrity. I've been on Delphi case loss and I haven't been around. Is it true Don and Candace not together? Yeah, that's supposedly the truth.
That's the rumor on the street, son.
Mm-hmm. I mean, of course we're being harassed, but I mean, but no, it's not about a blue truck. I think Fred got a bad rap because of his history, though. who shooting incident, well, not his fault, makes people think he's some violent drug addict. Well, if they would read the articles, I mean, it tells exactly. I mean, Fred was never. I guess they didn't really put out too much like in after about that, but yeah, that was Fred. I mean, to not get charges for shooting somebody, there's obviously it was self defense. That person was it was a mistook identity situation.
I didn't know.
But no, I feel like it's more like that people just are making him the scapegoat or making him like they're using him as a way to divert attention because since he was in that lifestyle and stuff, it's really he's a really easy target to pick on like that. You know? I mean, who's left? We've already of course that's who they're gonna go because he's the one. He's not. These people are kind of all connected, and Fred's like the outsider, he doesn't like Don and Andy and Jody Sue and like they're kind of working together. Yeah, Lady Bird, I showed my law enforcement just a few days ago when they were out front. I was talking to them and I showed them video and pictures of somebody out front here and told them our situation and what's going on. So, yeah.
And the sheriff's office, I mean, the jail and sheriff's office is just right here a few blocks away.
Yeah. And we are on like a pretty busy street. So,
I mean, you stand on the porch, look straight at the police department.
Yeah. Yeah. The police is right there. Is it, Darlene? Let me see. The leaving work one, Darlene?
So he would come home from a job and he's really pissed at them, even over simple shit. He'd leave midday, take off, swear he's quitting whatever, and come home and beat my ass. Tell me he was coming and beat my ass for that exact reason.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, but Juniper, he says, Andy was questioned several times by us, the TBI and FBI, about that. After I had said Andy was on the road, he said, we have questioned him about that several times. About what? About him being on the road. So there's no confusion. He's the reason why he's trying to be vague and be careful about what he says. That I can tell. Is that not the right video, Darlene, that I just played? Mimi. Yeah, that's the one that I played, the leaving work one, where she says like he would just leave work and he would get mad at work or whatever and then come there to take it out on her. Allegedly.
Stated too that he would change his time cards. And stuff.
Yeah, and she also is the one that said Andy's boss would change his time cards and lie and cover for him. So, hey, I see you. Thank you guys for being here. But yeah, he added in that whole earlier thing, like I've said before. I've said it before. I showed it like many times because I found it odd too. I'm like, but I could tell what he's doing. He's trying to watch what he says, you know? There is, from what we hear, a gag order on law enforcement in Hawkins County. So, you know, they're not allowed to speak on any details of the case, allegedly. So is he just afraid to, you know, say the wrong thing? It could be just totally something like that. You know? Because I could definitely feel that. I think that's part of it. Fred was on. No, he wasn't on the hill when. Or were you on the hill? No.
No.
The tree cutout doesn't look good on Fred. Bushi, why? It's a freaking honey. It's to get honey. What the fuck? Gosh, I'm sorry. You are just really annoying tonight. I'm sorry. He was absolutely. You keep repeating things that's not even true. Fred was not on the hill when law enforcement arrived. That's a lie. People need to get their shit straight and stop repeating shit in my chat. That is a complete lie. That spreads misinformation. You sit there and put that as statements. That's not a state, or you put that as a statement instead of a question, and you keep doing that. You're saying it as if it's true. Can you explain the tree cutout thing, Fred?
Do what?
Can you explain the tree cutout thing?
Oh, it was where the wild honey bees had built in that tree and stuff, and I'd cut it out to rob honey out of it. Was all that was.
Yeah, Fred's very, very like skilled in living off the land like that. I mean, he's a country guy. That's what they do. No, Bushi sometimes is like that. She'll be on timeout for a couple weeks and then I'll unblock her. She's like that sometimes, like says stuff. I'm just like, dude, that's not true. God, people. It's like, but I understand when you're watching several different cases, it's hard to keep it straight. But guys, this is what I do. This is it. Summer Wells, that's it. Hey, Kathy.
I mean, that's just like that Hunter said at that phone call where he had seen on our text that between Andy and Candace, you know, saying it's done. Said it was Candace's drug dealer, supposedly drug dealer, and then Andy confirmed that it was him that had texted Candace it was done.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many other things besides what Fred has said about Andy or even Jody Sue.
So what was done?
Yeah, what's the done text that he texts Jody or Candace? Fred and Dawn and Fred and Candace didn't text each other and have each other's phone numbers. Did you?
No, I never had none of them phone numbers.
Yeah, so pretty odd. And then Dawn was trying to convince Fred to get rid of his phone. Why? Fred never spoke with Dawn or Andy on his phone.
No.
But Andy and Dawn sure did, didn't they? And Candace. Oh, the it's done text? Do you guys forget that? They were good enough friends for Andy to do something for Candace that day. Oh, and it's done a favor for, I mean, what was it? Oh, you know, we've heard that whole story has been completely confused and on purpose too. Krista called Jody Sue a liar in Doug's chat. That text was later in the week, not the 15th. No, it wasn't. The text was on the 15th. It was the stun text. That's the 15th, Rhonda. It was absolutely the 15th. I mean, am I wrong, guys? The it's done text was the 15th. It's talked about on Chris McDonough's video when he's interviewing Hunter. It was the day of. But he did get his phone. He got her phone. It was like the next day after Summer went missing. Or it was like a couple days after when Hunter like snuck her phone. So there
was 17 texts between Andy and Candace that was deleted.
Yeah, was there?
Yeah, that's what Chris McDonough said.
He said that the last time he was live.
Mm-hmm.
There were 17 texts on the day of. Was it day of? Because he had stun text. I get what she's saying, like, it was a different incident, but no, it was he snuck the phone to look.
When he pulled the message back up, it was a few days after, when Candace had come and tried to get him to not speak about.
That's not true, Hater Channel. You can turn it into however you want. He literally says they questioned him several times about being on the road. God, I love people. He's saying, oh, he says if Andy was on the road. People who freaking lie to themselves so much just to be able to believe whatever they want to believe. So you're only lying to yourself. I really think the it's done text was the day of. I still believe it was the day of. Those dogs would have been all over the tree if they were implying that Summer was in that tree. The tree would have absorbed. I don't remember. Because he stole the phone to ask what it's done meant, and that was literally a couple days after Summer went missing. So their text would have had to have been within, the day before or something like that, or it had to have been a prior text. The way they made it seem, it was on the 15th. Does anybody else remember about tell me what you guys remember about that whole stun text? Besides Rhonda, because I'm trying to remember. I remember it as if, I know Hunter saw it after the fact, but I thought it was on the 15th. So you think that too, Kate? Okay. I'm just wondering if I'm just remembering something wrong. Yeah, was it the 15th though? Rhonda's trying to say it was a different day that those texts occurred between Hunter and Candace. That it wasn't the 15th, but I was always under the assumption that it was the 15th.
When he pulled it back up, it was a few days later when he seen it.
Yeah, when he pulled it up, it wasn't the 15th.
Yeah, it was. It showed the 15th, but it was a couple days later when he got in her phone and found it.
Okay.
It was when she went and was trying to get him not to mention alcohol and stuff.
Yeah.
And the law enforcement told him not to be talking to Candace.
Yeah.
But that's what Chris McDonald was saying. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Talking about what Chris McDonald was saying.
Hey, Sharon. Like, I've just... Nah, it was it was a couple days after he looked at the phone, but it was, the text was implied like it was on the 15th. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's say, do you guys really think that hole in the tree that's quite obvious that there's a big hole in the tree? Do you really think that's a hiding spot? Like, what kind of good hiding spot is it's right there in front of you? A big freaking gaping hole, like plugged in. How do you not see that? That's not hiding at all. Oh, let's put a child behind this big behind a bark that you can clearly see was cut out. I mean, how obvious? That's dumb. I mean, that is just so stupid. We're free of snow here, thank God. So here, I'm not going to listen to it because I don't want to listen to it anymore because I'm finally got my anxiety to go back down. But I'll play my video, the one with I'll read the emails and then okay. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this, but just in case, I'll play it real quick. Let me read the emails for you. And then I'll just so I put the emails at the beginning of this video. I uploaded a video of just the call by itself with the emails attached to the video at the beginning of the video. So you could see, but it doesn't matter if she would fit though. Like, that's not a good hiding spot. It's right there where everybody can see. That part faces the road, Carrie. That part of the tree faces the road. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's what people don't understand. It's only it's not that far up that.
Actually, that tree's halfway up the ridge.
So.
Way up on the ridge.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He says way up on a ridge, but I mean, it's so obvious.
It's a holler beech tree.
Beech tree? Yeah. Okay. It's so obvious though. Like, how would somebody hide something in there? You know what I mean? You would just. if you're looking for something, that's one of the first places you're going to look. So I said, this is November 23rd. I said, to whom it may concern, my name is Adrian. I'm married to Fred Hill. I met him when I started my YouTube channel covering Summer Wells back in January of 2022. I go by Ziggy on YouTube. I know you were adamant on not wanting YouTube drama sent into the tip line and are leery when it comes to YouTube. This is different because Fred is a witness and local who I met when we had met, and we have been trying to get Hawkins County Sheriff's Department to listen for years now, and I'm contacting you all to make sure you know what exactly has been uncovered. Fred Hill, my husband, recorded for Hawkins County on June 15th, 16th, and 17th of 2021 on Ben Hill Road. At the time, he was in a very different lifestyle that he has completely put in the past, and he was in the drug scene. This is why law enforcement used him. One thing that was uncovered is that the neighbor, Andy Bernard, who is my husband's friend, Fred Hill's cousin, was on the road, and Fred saw him late afternoon around 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. Andy is all over YouTube denying he was on the road. You guys have video footage of Andy on the road, and he's denying he was there. He even told Hawkins County on the day that Summer went missing that he couldn't remember what he was driving that day, just hours earlier. I have uncovered over my years of research on this case that Andy and Don would make many drug runs to Knoxville, Tennessee together. I feel at this point they both got into a drug debt that would have had to do something that they had to do something about. My husband, Fred, has vital information in this case, and we're wondering why Andy is not being interrogated to the fullest extent of the law. Andy knows what happened to Summer Wells. Please take this seriously. We are getting threats and being blackmailed to remain quiet, along with a few others. We are getting threatened and attacked all over the internet, and I have been getting strange, threatening emails along with people taking pictures of us, stalking us, and following us around. And then I say, please contact us. We just want to help. I believe Fred has the important puzzle pieces that necessary to figure this out. We want to make sure that Hawkins County Sheriff's Department has made you aware of exactly what happened when Fred recorded for them. Fred was out and about on June 15, 2021, and he witnessed many things that are vital. We just don't understand why no one is doing anything. Please contact us with any questions. And then a few days later, I send this one. And I said, my husband, Fred, told me something important last night, that Don told him the night CPS was alerted by Don Wells to come get the boys. I know Don Wells did that because that night Don went down to Fred's at 207 Ben Hill Road and asked Fred for help. He was frantically trying to come up with money for his drug dealer, and he seemed concerned that his sons would be taken just like Summer Wells. So that's why he called CPS. Don was asking Fred to come with him to Knoxville to help negotiate a deal with the dealer on his debt. Don didn't mention that if the dealer had Summer Wells, but I can only assume that's who Don Wells and, in my opinion, Andy Bernard handed her off to. Also, Fred wants to remind you guys about the white HHR that sat at Beach Creek right across the bottom shed property of Don's for days before Summer Wells went missing. And then suddenly the evening that she went missing, it was gone. And also very important is the dark blue truck with tinted windows that followed Andy out of the holler on June 15, 2021. And then I said, just please call with any questions. And I just put here, I said, this email is the one that was calling me back about. I sent this to TBI Temp Line on November 30th, 2024. And I guess TBI forwarded it to Hawkins. I don't know. I kind of found it kind of seemed intimidating, to be honest, to be contacted back by Pruitt, of all people, when I had these emails saying, like, I just want to make sure TBI is seeing, aware and blah, blah, blah. And then I get a call back from Pruitt. I don't know. And then it just seemed like a little bit of a tude. Right, Missy? Well, I mean, Carrie, that was way before Fred even was spoken to. So it's pretty interesting that, it kind of goes along with many things that we've learned. All right, so here we go. I'll play this so people can hear. Yeah, that's true about that.
It's okay.
Calling on a follow-up from your TBI tip.
Yeah. Which email did you get? I sent a couple within the last week.
The one about the dark blue pickup truck with tinted windows.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and so, okay, what do you want to know? I'm so sorry, I'm freaking been dealing with this. I'm extremely, nervous. I've been getting harassed, and, I've been, yeah, I don't know if do you know who I am by chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, anyways, Fred's here. He's in the room just in case you need to ask any questions. But the reason why I sent that in is because, because Andy Bernard was on that road that day, and nobody's questioning him. And he says he was at work all day.
Both us, TBI, and FBI have questioned him several times concerning that. Yes, he was on the road probably prior to, but most important is this dark blue pickup truck with tinted windows that you felt was very important in this tip.
Yeah.
Why do you feel it's important?
Because, we feel like Andy was meeting him. Because another person, now I promise to respect anything you do not want out on YouTube. I promise, because this is really important. But it's, we feel there's another YouTuber who saw footage of Andy on the road, on Simpson Road at 3:37 p.m. Fred remembers seeing a still shot, you guys showing him a still shot of Andy on the road with that blue truck, following, they were in the same still shot at 3:47 p.m. leaving out. Fred saw him on the road, he had to move his trailer in order to let Andy by that day at around 3:47 p.m. And
do you know who's in the blue truck?
no, it was two
in the blue truck. It was just two people, but the windows was tinted so dark I couldn't tell who was in it.
Yeah, the windows are tinted so dark.
Well, like I said, our agency, TBI, and the FBI have interviewed Mr. Bernard.
Well, he went on YouTube and put your guys' call out on YouTube, just so you know.
Oh, ma'am, I'm not arguing with you. If you don't have anything further, we appreciate your information, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
But
What the fuck
what?
just happened? Okay.
Sean Cole.
Okay. So, hold on, let me close that off. So, all the OGs left. I don't know when somebody's trying to be. First of all, I get really irritated when people don't use their common sense. He literally said, nobody said if Andy was on the road. Okay, that's a lie. So that's rewriting history. And two, if you use your brain, he literally says, we've interviewed Andy several times about that. TBI, FBI, and he said us. We have interviewed him many times about being on the road. So you can sit there and try to change it around however you want, but that's not how it was. So, and a channel called Hater Channel comes in and says something, really like Hater Channel. And another example, this person that just made the comment, probably one of the circle jerks, my guess, freaking obsessed Becky. But anyways, like, I've never seen you around ever before, and I'm supposed to take your opinion as important. I know, but I know, and I've tried to, I did interrupt him, and maybe he thought, like, I don't know. He was not professional. He didn't even give you time to say if you had anything. I know. But I don't know. So one second. But yeah, it does. It's really difficult to have for years to sit there and just let people say, that you're lying about something that is not a lie that happened, and and people trying to change reality, and it's like drives you crazy. It makes you wonder why they're doing that. And then it just it gave me, like I said, that call made me very nervous for some reason. I know, right, Darlene? Exactly. And then Andy tells us too, oh, I've only been interviewed like once, like at the beginning. I know, Mimi, he really is. But no, did you hear how he was to Andy? He was all freaking nice to Andy. Oh, don't listen to Fred. Oh, yeah, don't listen. Oh, he's crazy. Don't listen to that. Like, oh, we haven't heard anything about your name or anything. You're good, buddy. But some people think it's that way to make them feel comfortable. But like I also go back to, like, did Andy end up snitching to cover his ass? I'm not going to call back Tammy again. I'm not going to bother him. I put it in an email. I'm not going to bother law enforcement with it, So, well, he asked me, Tammy, to tell me how he was, why I felt the reason I did. He said, why do you feel that the blue truck is important? He asked for my opinion, Tammy. That's why I gave him, and that's why I gave him I gave him facts as my reasoning. The time that Fred saw, the screenshot or the picture that Fred was shown of Andy in the blue truck. He was shown it by law enforcement and asked to identify. So, they were one still shot. So I was trying to explain it. And then he was also seen on camera over on Simpson Road at like 347, or it was like 337. One was 337 and the other one was 347. So he was, and in order to get to Simpson Road, you have to go on Ben Hill Road. That's even more confirmation, like more him on video again over on Simpson Road, not Fred's video, somebody else's. We believe it. I'm not going to put out who I think it is, but anyways, he was seen over there because a particular YouTuber saw the footage. He was seen. It was 3:47 p.m. Maybe it was Fred saw him at 3:47. It was 3:37 p.m. I think over on Simpson. So it's like almost like, and I was trying to tell him, it's almost like Andy was looking for this truck. You know what I mean? He went back there on Simpson Lane trying to find this truck. You remember, you don't get good reception back there. He's going Simpson Lane, looking around. Where's this blue truck? Where is this guy? He goes, and then he comes back and does a U-turn, comes back, goes down, turns right on Ben Hill off Simpson Loop, and then continues to go down the hauler to look for this truck that's sitting at the end of Ben Hill Road, past 207, just sitting down there, which Fred just saw, pass. And, Fred had to, he had hooked up. He was waiting for that guy to come out, and the guy never came out. So he started to hook up his truck again. And then here comes Andy. Then they, and I know it's rude, but when I'm trying to think though, like why I'm just trying to think like what the method of the madness here. What was the purpose? Is it to make Andy feel comfortable? Is it did Andy end up caving? And like, I do feel somebody has been talking to law enforcement, but I figured it would be Andy or I'm sorry, Dawn or Candace, them just recently splitting up. I would think if I were law enforcement, I would use that opportunity to get Candace to speak. When Tammy, they were leaving the hauler, when Andy was leaving off of Ben Hill Road, yeah, the truck followed him out at that point. So, and the fact that Andy was seen on Simpson Loop, like even prior to that time at about 3:37, it's like he came off of Beach Creek, went on to Ben Hill, turned onto Simpson Loop, looking around all the way down Simpson Loop, doesn't see the car, turns around, comes back down Simpson Loop, goes down to Ben Hill, turns right, and then continues going down the full length of Ben Hill. Well, it's not really the full length because actually Ben Hill Road goes actually way past it. It just goes to like a one like dirt road type thing.
My camera's never got deleted.
Fred's cameras never got deleted.
They have a lot of the people that was on Ben Hill Road.
Yeah, how do you think that they got these vehicles on camera? Law enforcement knows that. That's what's so weird about it. It's like you have the cameras.
Jody Sue's one stated hers got deleted or something. Not mine.
Oh yeah, Jody Sue never had a freaking camera. She's lying for some odd reason. Not at that point she didn't anyways. Not when Summer went missing. Maybe they did have.
Andy was never on the last two cameras on that road of mine. So that means he had to turn at that one certain spot.
Wait.
And from that spot where he turned and where the truck was sitting, when I seen it last as I come out to try to load that.
Oh, because that's before 207.
Yep.
Oh, wait. So the truck didn't go down. I'm confused. So the truck didn't go to 207. I keep saying that
The
he
truck
was.
went past 207 and turned at Ed Redmond's, and it come past Ed Redmond's just a little bit and set. And from where it was sitting and where Andy had to turn, you can see in plain sight.
Oh,
the field.
so you think the truck then saw Andy and then came up?
That was my opinion.
But then, and then from that point is when the truck followed Andy out from that little turnaround area that used to be there for the
Because Andy was
school
not
buses.
on the last two cameras at 207.
Yeah, but he did pass 165.
Mm-hmm. With the truck right on his bumper.
Yeah. But I don't know what you mean, Alicia. I'm not attacking Fred, but he said he had surveillance on the whole street. Not until past Jody Sue's. We've always said not until Jody Sue's. There wasn't any cameras. I don't know what you mean, Alicia. We don't have possession of them whatsoever.
No.
Fred went to jail unexpectedly. He wasn't expecting to go to jail when that happened. You know, he didn't, and he never was back there really again for another forever. And so in the meantime, somebody got a hold and stole a bunch of stuff and fucked around with a bunch of shit in there. And you already know, I've already talked about who that was and everything.
But law enforcement's got copies.
Yeah, law enforcement has it. It's not lost forever. Law enforcement has it.
I mean, even
because
a year prior to something.
It's law enforcement that showed Fred, like, you know, different vehicles. Is like, who is this vehicle? Who's that vehicle? And it wasn't just Fred that was shown these. So
a lot of people had to identify people.
Yeah, you were just identifying. They were asking them. So and Fred turned it in his camera. So, and that's some of the cameras they were getting still shots off of. It wasn't just Fred's cameras. There were several cameras.
I just wonder if Ed turned his in. Because if Ed turned his in, the blue truck had to be on his camera because the way you turn up there, he's got a camera. If you pull in his driveway or back in either way, there's a camera on both sides that catches.
I know, and that's what you were about to tell Pruitt when he hung up, I think.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they know. I mean, I don't know. The way he's talking, it just feels like.
Why are you? Oh my God! I can't even go lay down on the bed. You're in there. I sit down here, y'all.
Maybe they did get him. Maybe they do have the that blue truck down there at 207 on it, and because that's what the thing is. Like they don't have the only place to get a good angle of the license plate would be down at Ed Redmond's.
Ed Redmond's, because the other place, mine just took a side view.
Yeah. The other cameras are side view is what people don't understand but Redmond should have had a good picture of the license plate
because he's got one in front of the turnaround spot and behind it. So if you pull in or back,
no, Jody Sue got
the front and back.
Jody Sue Poop did not have trail cams. She's lying.
They did.
If Jody Sue didn't have cameras, how did she have video of Dobbs on his land? Because of the Thompsons, right? Or how did she have? Where did she have video of Dobbs on his land?
Somebody took a picture of Dobbs. Is the only thing.
At the end of the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a camera footage surveillance. There was a picture taken.
But I know on the what was it? the 15th, the evening of the 15th, after someone went missing, that when I was recording, that Damien come down the hill and asked Jody where to put the camera up at, and she's holding the third tree up on the right beside of the driveway as you go back up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they have pictures of him or video surveillance of him up on his land. Just at the end of the driveway. That's a picture somebody took passing by. I don't know why they took a picture or who took that picture, but I mean, probably Jody Sue, I imagine. Because she was all upset about him moving in there. And she was off the hill 3 times, and she said she was. I wonder why they never interrogated her about that. Has Ellie ever really interrogated anyone?
Now, Jody spoke about having some like surveillance cameras at the house or something other that she had moved around and hadn't wired back up, you know. But whether that's true or not, I don't know. Jody had spoke about it, you know.
Jody Sue also said Andy came home to get her for a date and went up and down Ben Hill 3 times in 10 minutes. I don't know what that means.
No. Only Andy just went in and back out on Ben Hill on my cameras. They wasn't in there. So.
Yeah, but they had cameras after Summer went missing, Darlene. They, just like Fred just said, it was the 15th. Or wait, was it 15th or 16th? No, it was 15th, right? That you saw Fred, that you saw Damien putting the camera up, the 15th.
Yeah.
And it's on recording. It's all recorded for law enforcement. You would hear Damien ask where to put the camera. It was on the 15th, on June 15th, the day that Summer went missing. They put up a camera. Damien comes down, asks Jody Sue, where should he put the camera? She said the third tree up on the right. And then he put the camera there and was really never seen much more ever again.
Just like when he come down and was asking Jody that was when Dawn was pulling up too, pulling back onto 110 at the mailbox there and gets out and walks up and reaches Andy that money.
Mm-hmm.
And then him and Andy walks back to the car, and I couldn't hear what they were saying or nothing.
Could the dark blue truck belong to the guy that helped Dawn work at Redmond's the Saturday before? If not, was there a different vehicle driven by him?
I don't know who was with Dawn.
I think they rode with Dawn, didn't they?
But they was right. Ever who it was working with Dawn, they was 2 people going in up there in Dawn's white Sonoma when they was working at the Edge. And that was the week prior to Summer going missing.
Yeah. But see, Fred, that blue truck, the 15th, was the very first time Fred saw that truck and the very last time he saw that truck ever. And around that area, you know everybody's vehicles and stuff.
Like the Mississippi guy with that girl driving it.
Yeah, and that Mississippi car, first and last time he saw that one too. But they claim that's cleared. I don't know.
But see, it was only seen going in and never seen on camera ever again. Coming out or nothing on every camera.
Yeah, that's weird. But supposedly she was...
It's like it went in and vanished.
Little Dicky. Need to live. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Kimmy, we always talk about everybody struggling. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. We're not talking about anything like that. Live in a... I know I know everybody's struggling. I don't know why. I never said no, but I literally said that same thing. And that was like an hour ago. Like, we're, you know. think they had something planned for getting rid of Evans. So they had it ahead of time. I do remember, or I don't remember Grandis leaving 3 times. I thought it was Candace left 3 times. Yeah, I remember hearing she left 3 times. Right.
I mean, you would have thought that on the 15th that they wouldn't even let Dawn even left, but Dawn left several times out of the holler and stuff. The 15th, after the law enforcement was there searching for someone, why would it didn't make sense, you know?
Yeah, you would think that they would have
even him coming to my house. Why would you would thought he would have stayed? They would have made him stay on the hill and stuff.
And especially the vehicles, they never took anybody's vehicles or really even processed them. I don't feel like, did they? I mean, did they test for any type of anything?
That I don't know.
Like luminol, anything for a presence of blood? I mean, it makes you wonder. I'm sure they did, I guess, but they sure as hell didn't take any vehicles. So
I mean, you thought if Don was going to do anything, he'd been searching for his daughter instead of running out to town doing whatever, or, you know.
Well, remember, he was going to beat in your door, the local drug dealer store.
Yep.
The meth dealer store, you know, that's what he was going to act like he's big and bad. It wasn't bad. It was probably planned from the beginning to try to put something on Fred, especially after Fred witnessed that whole incident with Andy on the road. Because it was weird how Don came down and asked if he saw Andy on the road when Fred didn't even mention anything about Andy on the road. Don came down. It was the same day, wasn't it? Or was it the next same day and asked that if Andy was on the road? Like, what? Did you see Andy on the road? Why would he say that ask that?
In my opinion, Don was just come down there trying to find out what I'd turned into law enforcement.
Yeah, he just, so it's weird.
That was all he wanted to more or less talk about. He never once would say that he wished somebody would bring Summer back or he wished she was okay or anything.
No, he wasn't
One
concerned.
thing he wanted to say, he mentioned Summer there and said, at least he'll see her during the resurrection was about it.
And he's saying that on the 15th, that he'll see her in the resurrection.
But I feel like that was just mislead people. I mean, as I look back now on it.
Why? Why would she? I don't know. I think it makes him look bad to say, oh, through a resurrection, like he knows she's dead or something.
But he had no emotions, period. I mean, none. And then the next time I seen him, he had his son with him. For every time he come, he had his older son with him. Almost like he was afraid that he was going to say something to somebody or something.
Right? Like he had to keep eyes on the older boy and to make sure he didn't like speak or something, or I don't know. It looks sad. The older boy looked really sad. I mean, that just. I'm really worried, Kathy, about that. I'm really worried that something was done wrong early on and it's like messed things up. And what I think
was done on the 17th that messed a lot of shit up.
The alcohol thing was that the 17th? Yeah, and that's what I worry about. It's like, because was them purchasing the alcohol for the wells, did that screw everything freaking up somehow? I don't know. You wouldn't think so. You freaking are involved with a child missing. But yeah, Don admitted he was trying to set Fred up. Yeah, and he said, I mean, Don has told us many truths, like straight out, blunt. He even, seeing kids in hotels and being sold for drugs. And I mean, he sat there and talked about a child's body,
Well,
saying
on
she
the
had a hot
16th,
body.
Just like on the 16th when he come up there, he was talking about wanting to know how to access the black web or whatever. If I knew how to access it to find out if maybe someone was already on the black web, then.
No, he blamed Fred. He blamed Fred from the very, very, very start, Sharon, the day of. He says he was going to go kick in his door and act like he was going to go do something, and then he went down there only to ask him, like, basically try to find out what Fred knew. And, oh, did you see Andy on the road earlier? Why the hell are you asking that? Of all people, that's the only person he asked if you saw, right? Yeah.
He continues to ask me what I had told the law, or if I thought of anything else to tell the law and stuff like that. Every time he come, he's always questioning what I'd told him and stuff. And no matter what I said, they done checked that out. No matter what I said.
Hey, Sage. Hey, Blue Eyes. Didn't Don also go to Frank White's that night? I don't know. They had but there was some kind of weird. Wasn't an
Only
issue.
thing I know about that, I don't know if he went to Frank or whatever at night or whatnot, but I know that Roy, Frank's brother, had said something to me about Frank and Pete Clark and Don being into it. So I don't know what that was over or whatnot, but I don't even know why he even mentioned it,
How long was that after Summer went missing?
Oh,
about them being into it.
Several months after that.
So several months after Summer went missing,
Yeah.
but probably within a year.
It was less than a year. I don't know how long after Summer went missing. It was several months, so like 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months after Summer went missing, at least. Fred was told because Fred never knew Frank Light, but he knew Roy Light. And he was told that there was some kind of issue, or like Don Wells, Frank Light, and Pete Clark. Yeah. That there was some kind of issue between them all three after, and like.
Because I'd actually was riding a motorcycle and run out of gas in front of Roy's trailer and stuff, and he come out and had a gun and stuff. He thought I was Pete Clark, maybe, because Pete and Brandon always riding motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought I might have been Pete. That's what he even told me, But I don't know what the issue was with them three, what they had been into it over or whatnot.
Right. It's totally possible, messy demeanors, that could be but I just feel like, though, there's so much evidence of other crimes before, so much evidence of other types of crimes, like with children. It just, sure feet. What? Oh, yeah, Athena's laying on. Like you guys, it's so cute.
She been glued to me and seeing like crazy. I can't go to the bedroom, can't sit down, got her piling up on me.
Let me see. I was going to try to show it,
She go get up now.
but it won't let me switch over.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about
Oh. Isn't that so cute? Where's the other little guy? He must be in. They need to call Candace, and yeah, I know, especially since now they're they won't let Dawn leave Tennessee, but they let Fred make me believe he is not a suspect, right? But hey, Sunstar. I know, Athena's the sweetest.
Okay.
She demands attention. Do we were a little. See if you could get her open her mouth. No, she probably wouldn't right there. She's too relaxed, huh?
Should have that more playing. She's a big baby, that's for sure.
Yeah. So cute. But
She's like, what are you doing, Mommy? Grab. Say, I don't like a spotlight.
you don't like the spotlight? We had to cover our couches and chairs to put blankets over them because they like to chew on everything. Rather than. Yeah, she's really definitely a sweetie for sure. His poor hands kill you. I know. When it used to bug me so bad at first. I'm like, God, they look so painful. You know, the way.
This cold weather does bother them bad. Bother at one. My other one don't bother me.
Well, and he's the one that called me too, Sunstar. He's the one that reached out. Of course, I emailed them, but he's the one that contacted me. But that's weird that you say that to see that's what other people are saying. That makes me really nervous. I didn't even think of that because, yeah, this is very, very scary. But it's the scariest thing to me is if there's LE corruption. That's the scariest worry. My biggest worry. I'm more scared of that than I am like the vice lords, like getting mad because for one, vice lords most of them don't even agree with child crimes. From what we hear, it's like this guy, it's something that this person is kind of doing. Like, I don't know. Allegedly, a bunch of like a bunch of like the guy that was at the Knoxville house that Fred talked to, like, according to him, people didn't agree with it, like other members.
That's why he spoke about it too, you know?
Yeah. And so that's why that's why he was okay with helping or wanted to help is because it had to do with children.
Aware of the TBI going to be involved in it too.
Yeah.
before he even done any recording or anything, you know. I mean, it was all in the text and stuff. Me talking about the TBI and stuff, and what I
Yeah.
was going to do and everything.
Yeah. And just like I told you, when I'm like, I was afraid to tell you, like, or not afraid, but I was kind of like that first time I met you and stuff, and I didn't know how you were, and I was scared to be like, I have to turn this in, to TBI about the bones, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and you encouraged it. And you said I was just, because you literally just found those right before I got there.
Well, what I was going to do, I was going to go and unhook a trailer and go and call it in then. And then that's when you had went in, and I didn't know who it was. And you were sitting at the driveway when I come in.
Yeah.
Done where the bones was. I was going up there to unhook that one trailer. Because I'd purchased a trailer off of actually Hack Ryan's that had that. It was that David Bates' place. And that's how I run on the bones, where I wouldn't even know nothing about them. Hadn't been on them.
It's just really hard for me to believe that they, that they only allegedly talked to Andy once. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they even went out of their way to go find, like, they even went to like David Bays and which of course he lives down there, but like Marvin's and stuff, and like looking for people, and so it's just so hard to believe that they wouldn't have. I don't know why Andy doesn't want people to know.
People that was in the holler prior to Summer going missing. I'm talking about up to a week prior to Summer going missing, on what they seen in the holler and this and that.
Yeah.
Everybody that was on camera.
And they freaking gave him shit. And Andy knows this too, about him not remembering what he drove that day. So it does make me wonder, well, did they pressure Andy into finally caving? And is he like giving information in exchange for what's the word? Because if he was just like some kind of driver or something, and if he could help get the bigger people, that's definitely kind of fits it too a little bit.
But see, I thought Don had showed up after the law enforcement had got there, but when the forensics was up there about the bones and stuff, he was asking the two officers that was there if they know which two officers had arrived first, or what officers arrived first at the Wellses. And it happened to be them two that had come out about the bombs, you see. And they confirmed that Dawn was at home when they arrived to the TBI.
Yeah, and Fred has talked to me like several times how uncomfortable like it made him. I don't say it much on here because like people are like, oh yeah, sure. People don't understand, like Fred doesn't like attention, and it made him uncomfortable that, and it happened several times. They talked about like they talked about like really this stuff like out in the open with Fred in front of them, and especially at the
was on their payroll at times. I mean, for real, it was unsettling sometimes.
Yeah, because it's like, should I be here hearing this right now? You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I think that
if I had to do all over again, I'd recorded a lot of it,
Yeah.
Especially when the TBI was up there, the forensics and stuff about the bones and stuff, and where he was talking and everything.
Yeah, that would have probably pissed him off, though. Eventually, I don't know, but I guess it would be. That's probably why they liked you, is because you're such a quiet, kind of to yourself type person, too. Is like, but they never asked you not to say anything
No,
ever.
they've never said nothing not to say nothing. They've never told me not to mention anything.
Quick draw McGraw. Yeah, immunity. There you go. Right, Gina. Right. That's how I thought maybe too. I thought maybe he felt because I listened back and stuff. And I called him back and left a message. He didn't answer, but I left a message and just apologized for, if I made him he felt like attacked or something, because when I shouldn't have interrupted him, but I was very nervous. I tried to tell him I was super nervous, not because I'm guilty of anything, but first of all, his energy was just like, he's not very personable, for one. If you see my energy at first, like all happy to talk to him, and then it just slowly goes downhill because he wasn't talking. It feels like he's ignoring you. He seems disinterested. And I was like trying to wait for him to ask me a question or someone like jump and ask me a question. And when I'm nervous, I'll just talk, because I hate awkward silence. It was an awkward call for me. And I hate talking on the phone as is.
Actually, he had called the evening before and didn't get it and said that we'd call back the next morning.
I hope not, Carolyn. I've been saying that law enforcement here are covering up stuff for vice lords, and more than anyone knows. No one believes it, but they are. I know. See, that's what everybody's saying. Wait, hold on. I was trying to put Sunstar here. That's what everybody is saying. Like it was like people are now it's like making me kind of paranoid a little bit, because it's like, and worried. I mean, corrupt law enforcement, they can like mess with your lives, People think like, oh, the dangerous part is the vice lords. Like, no, I'm more worried about law enforcement. Truly. I know, and that's what I try. Truth hurts. That's why that's why I've tried to think about it from him. That's why I make so many excuses. Like, well, everything on YouTube, the pressure of the case, all the shit's been talked about on him. The Andy just put out his call like right before that and stuff, and he knew like he knew I was with Fred and what he said to Andy about Fred and stuff, and thought I would give him a hard time probably. Yeah, I thought about all that stuff and the crazy, and plus I've also think about the fact that it's rumored that the law enforcement's on a gag order where they can't speak on details of the case at all. And he does sound like he's afraid of saying the wrong thing because of how with certain words he uses and stuff, He was being really vague. It sounded like purposefully, which I get that that's to protect the integrity of the investigation. But it just seemed he was very, very afraid to say the wrong thing, and her dad's not a good person. He is evil. Yep. Yeah, it's Julia, and it's like a GMC,
It's between a 2005 in 2007, GMC Canyon, dark blue, a single cab. It can almost be mistaken for black.
Yeah. The window is very, very, very dark.
Yeah.
And it was a very nicely kept truck for its age. Like it was very well maintained. Like it
almost
looked
looks
new
like
almost.
It had a new paint job almost on it.
Yeah, but it was not like a newer model. And Fred's good at like
and
that stuff because he's
with the paint the color of it. I've tried to find. I've looked on a lot of websites and stuff, tried to find exactly that color of truck that come out factory, and I can't find none that's come out factory that color.
yeah. So it makes
It
makes him
me
think
wonder if it was
custom
painted.
Yeah. One more second, guys. Sorry, I've been drinking a lot of Diet Coke. Pruitt, all I can say is Pruitt adopted a little girl.
That's weird.
Huh?
That one they were saying couldn't Redmond's niece or whatever be a witness to that truck. Yes, she could be a witness for that truck. Seen that truck that day.
Yeah.
Because she seen that truck. She passed that truck. That truck had to move out of the road for her to go in because it was blocking the road as she went in.
Wow. Yeah, so that'd be a definite, see if Pruitt would have stayed on the phone. That's something else that we could have freaking worked out together.
Yes, she could be a witness.
She could be definitely a good person to ask. I want to be like, ask Andy Bernard, but obviously he's probably already been down that route.
She probably could have seen their face and stuff in the camp. Through the windshield.
Yeah. They were
she
close.
Was closer than I was when I backed up and stuff, and Andy and them went by. I was away from the road somewhat. You could just tell there's two people. But the way he was sitting in the road, he had to pull out of the road.
Because, Leah, we just tried to explain that. He's been looking everywhere to try to find one online, or one exactly like that, and it cannot find one anywhere. That's what makes him think it's a custom blue. It was custom blue truck, custom paint colored truck, because we can't find any factory colored trucks like that, a GMC Canyon type style.
Yeah, I can find all kinds of trucks like it, but
yes, Hunter has connections to the Vice Lords. You know that. You didn't know that Hunter has connections to the Vice Lords? Yeah. And True's boyfriend is supposedly affiliated. Because it was that's what we're wondering. That's another thing we didn't get, that Fred was about to tell Suzanne, like Redmond's camera would have caught the license plate probably of that truck. But the pictures that on the video surveillance that like Fred had, and the ones that that law enforcement showed Fred and showed others to try to point out, if they can identify who was in these photos, they're side views. They're side views, and you can't see the license plate. So that's my guess, is that they didn't get a good view of the license plate.
How many times was I interrogated? I was never interrogated.
This one, let me see here. Somebody sent one. Yeah, Fred was never interrogated, but he was around the police like for the first couple weeks, like a lot. So, I mean, talking to him and stuff, if it wasn't like a, you know, like a interrogation, it was more like, you know, helping them find certain like wells and stuff and locations, and he helped show them where Bernard property was over on Fields Road. Just different things they
There's
want.
an abandoned house around within the vicinity. There were well in the vicinity that they didn't know about. There were septic that I knew about that they didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
My husband's truck looks black until sun hits it, then it's a dark blue. But it's, yeah, that's why we mentioned that. Here, hold on. Let me somebody sent me a picture of, is that black or blue truck that somebody sent me? Let me see. This one? That's not dark enough windows at all, though.
no, it's the same body style as that truck.
Here, I'll show it. But yes, Hunter has, yeah, he's openly affiliate. He brags about it. So it's that truck style, it's that body style right there. But what do you think? What do you think? I mean, it's darker windows.
Yeah, dark windows. That jacked up a little more than, I mean, a little bit higher than the other one was, as far as the lift on it. But the same body style as that.
What about the color?
It ain't hardly that dark.
Because it's got a tint of blue. Like you can see a tint, or not this one. We can't see a blue here on this one, but the one Fred saw had it. It was a dark, dark blue.
Yeah, the one I seen when the sun was hitting it and stuff, when it was going by the first, going into turn and stuff, it looks kind of blue. And then after it turned and pulled back kind of down in a shade, like it almost looked black.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how the light hit it, whether it looked blue or almost black, you know. I mean, it was just a real.
Yeah, and that's why we
deep
mentioned that.
blue.
So you guys, like, some people might mistake it for black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially with some people's eyes and stuff, you know. I'm looking back, and I wish she had another route to directly speak with TBI. Yeah, since emails are getting rerouted to Hawkins, yes.
That's
Fishy
not the
thing.
exact truck, though. That's just.
Yeah, that's not the exact truck.
No.
Could it have been dark green, hunter green?
It appeared to be blue to me, a real deep blue.
If you didn't hear Fred, he said it appeared to be. He said no, it appeared to be deep blue. You know, some people look at it like a blue green and say, I mean, but
I mean, he was a lot darker shade than Jackie Dobbs's vehicle. And Jackie's is pretty dark in that picture, you know.
To me, I got your back, folks. Or there's something that somebody has on somebody, you know, or there's just a dirty cop and, you know, or a couple. I mean, and then you look at the situation that happened, how shady it was with Brandon Lawson's, you know, how they handled that when he got all those charges of saying his stepdaughter, who he had been a father figure for since she was a baby. And that was all hush hush that nobody knew about until everything was done with the case, you know? So shady.
I mean, just like when he
That just
talked about Brandon Lawson, when he's been had to pull his time and stuff, he pulled his time at Granger County and pretty much went in and out of jail just like he owned the place.
yeah, that's what we hear is like he was able to
That's
like
what people told that come from Granger County and stuff too, Hawkins County.
that he was like able to come and go.
Huh?
That he was able to come and go.
Yeah. Pretty much just walk in and out as he.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's what I.
Just coming back at night, just staying at the jail at night.
Yeah, that's insane. If I find out he was allowed to do that, like if I find proof of that, dude, I'm gonna freaking be so. But that's what the rumor was going around that he was coming and going as he pleased, and he was like, of course, a trustee. You know, like just staying there at the jail at night is allegedly what people are saying was happening. If that shit was happening, dude, I will lose my freaking mind. That stuff is so, I mean, that's how this stuff continues to go on, and corruption and these crimes on children keep happening and going undetected because people keep covering. They don't play out the tape and think, okay, this one thing, how bad that could affect or how damaging that could be. And it was repainted Mustang blue. Huh. Sunflower said she bought her son. Why are you in Tennessee? Oh, you said South Carolina, though. Somebody, you bought one from GMC Canyon for your son, and it was repainted Mustang blue, but you could tell it was dark green previously. Okay, so you're just worried somebody changed the painting. Yeah. Did he answer if it was lifted? No, it wasn't lifted at all. The truck Fred saw was, he even said wasn't even as lifted as the one on the screen right now. Crystal is carrying on. I was curious too. Me and Fred got in a conversation about guns earlier, and how, you remember how Ryan was sitting there? I wonder how he's, I'm sure we won't hear any apology about Andy being on the road, and I haven't heard one apology from any of these people, of course. But you know how Ryan was always, he's like, wouldn't go anywhere without his gun, like, and he's traveling around in a vehicle with a felon, Andy, who's not allowed to be around guns, and we know that Ryan will not go anywhere without his freaking gun. So I hope to God he is not taking that gun with him around him when Andy's riding around with him in vehicles, because he's not allowed to be around those. He said that Sherfy's girlfriend brought Hunter home that day from the Wells. That's weird because there was rumors about Sherfy and that's another thing. That's why I was wondering what kind of trucks they had, the Sherfys had, because there was rumors about Andy Jr., Damien, right, somehow being hanging out with Sherfy Jr. that day.
Yeah, did there was allegations about maybe Jody Sue's brother and Damien together earlier that day.
Jody Sue's brother and Damien
too. So I don't know if any truth to any of that or not.
Yeah, because so we don't know what he drove. Her brother drove, but
supposedly her brother was in Jody's mom's truck, supposedly.
Right.
So I mean that's just hearsay. I don't know. That is what I've heard. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Okay, so my email is YouTube's right here. Here, thank you, Mimi. Mimi, do I have your email? Because I need to email you. I do. Never mind, I do. The one that's on on your PayPal too. That's your email, right?
I mean, it's just weird. Just like when Andy is riding around with Ryan and stuff. When that one video, when they come up on Andy's parents' property on Fields Road, they turned the camera plumb away from it and everything before they got to the driveway and stuff, and never showed it the whole time that was on that road. When they come back out and stuff, they turned the camera plumb away from it and stuff, and never showed it.
Yeah, and then there was just so happened that there was one video when he was up at 125, and there was a white Jeep up there too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And Jody Sue has this white Jeep Wrangler that she freaking.
Because PG had showed them video or pictures, and it showed that white Jeep that she's been driving up there when Ryan was up there supposedly searching with Andy that day. The same white Jeep that she was at Knoxville seen in at the across from the halfway house taking pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People. Yeah. It does look like that. And you do have a picture of that too somewhere. Because I remember that white Jeep, but I didn't notice, they didn't know that at the time that Jody Sue had one, I don't think. I don't know where they're getting all these nice used vehicles, guys. That's another weird thing. Andy driving around bumping like he's a teenager, which, hey, I do the same thing. I would do the same thing. So, but driving a BMW, while you're on here, you don't have money for a place to stay, but you're driving around a nice BMW. Jody Sue has a brand new, it looks like it's not. I don't know if it's brand new, but it looks like two newer vehicles out there that she's using. A nice white Jeep Wrangler. And then a white, it looks like a Lexus sedan, but it could be even, it's just like
it's got the Lexus symbol look like on it.
Yeah, but it's like, how? Where are you guys getting this stuff?
They never showed the video of it, too.
Has Ryan and Andy ever searched Fields Road area where Candace was said to be seen with a couple other? No.
See, that's what I was just saying a few minutes ago. That when they took and showed them going onto that road and stuff, a video, the only place that they didn't show was Andy's property. They turned the camera completely away from Andy's property on Fields Road until they got past it. Then they switched the camera back to that side of the road. And then when they come back out, they switched it again away from it. Would not show the property.
Oh, wow. That's a nice one. That's a nice GMC, but that's definitely not it. It's definitely, that's extended cab.
Yeah, that nice little newer model.
Well, it says 2005, actually. Look how nice it is.
It looks almost like a newer model than what.
The windows though were real dark, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
But a lot
extended.
different. Yeah, it's just a single cab. The one I seen.
That's nice though.
The headlights are
I know
just
you
a
guys
little
can't
bit
see.
different than that one. Way the headlights and stuff, a similar degree.
And I'm talking to you guys. I know I'm talking to the lady who bought GMC Canyon for her son. She showed me a picture of it. I didn't want to put it out there because it's her son's truck, but it's really nice. But that one is an extended cab, and the one that was on Ben Hill was
It's a
single.
Yeah. Single.
One of Prayer Garden's mods called Pruitt, and she said he hung up on her. I just watched it. Why did they call him? Are you freaking serious? For what? About what I mean, are you talking about they called him today? Or are they just, I mean,
And Cedar Fields Road property, they put it in a trust fund too, right after summer went missing and stuff. Because remember Jody speaking on that they was afraid that somebody's going to plant something on it.
yeah. Yep. Oh, it wasn't today. It was you're talking like a past time they called. You're just saying that, yeah, I'm hearing people that he does that a lot, that he likes to hang up on people. But, I would have to hear like the call to see. I mean, I try to look at things from other people's perspectives. I did cut him off, and like I could see maybe he thought I was about to freaking give him a hard time. I don't know.
But Skyland News is one that had put that one out, talking about they didn't say Candace or who. They
Yeah,
said
I know. And Skyland News, we can't freak.
4 going in the woods and 3 coming out.
Even before this, for years, people
Just
have
like
said how.
Skyland News twisted everything I said to him at the bottom of the driveway.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just Fred that has said stuff about Skyline News. Like that's been out for people have said like that. For some reason, that guy, like he's just so shady. The stuff he puts out too, like he's really. I don't know who that guy. I don't know. Oh, to see why the Wells haven't been arrested. Oh, okay. See, and that's what I'm saying is like I'm sure he has a lot of pressure on him. That's why you could tell like he's frustrated about something, but I don't know. I hope it's all for the right reasons. Fred's not in here right now, but I do. Regardless what tips are sent to. There's been many reasons they could put charges on certain people. In my opinion, it's been very corrupt. I know, it's concerning for sure. It's very concerning. Hold on, guys. probably am gonna go here in a second though. I have a little bit of a stress headache. I have to, but I might come back later or a little bit, even though it's already 1:13.
You'll be making some kind of craft, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I have to. There's I want to work on that. That ornament might actually turn out the one that I just have to add more resin to it. The one out there that's still in the right, Shannon. Yeah, I was happy to hear back from you. You could tell, like at very beginning when I answered a call, like you can see in my face, I was happy to talk to him. But it just like soon after, I just felt like the energy was off, and I'm like,
Yeah, I've never talked to Pruitt about nothing on Summer's case or anything. The only time I've ever even talked to Pruitt, period, was when they done the polygraph on Cotton, and only thing he done is walked and sat in for just a minute until the polygraph started, and then they made him step out, and then he took me back to booking.
did he really say anything to you, or was he super
No.
quiet? Yeah,
He was quiet.
it turned out really good. Hold on. Let me go get it. I put up a short. Here, I'll show you. I put up a short. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in a second, but
What? When?
I was trying to take. There's a filter, a little bit of a filter on it. I tried to take it off, like I didn't take it off, but
When? Where have you been? When?
so that's it. The bowl. Anybody would like to order one, just email me at youtubeziggy@outlook.com. This one particular one's spoken for. You pick your colors and all that. I also listed a few more things on my which I guess I could show real quick before I leave, because kind of goes along with this, because this short right here. I put a short. I responded back to that's right, I made a short. It wasn't on here, but I made a short responding to Jody Sue because she said, "Oh, don't buy any of Ziggy's crafts. It's toxic. It's and I posted a picture where it shows it's non-toxic. It's art resin. There's certain resin you use, like I don't know what kind of there's all different kinds of resin, and the mold is it specifically for resin. So, okay. Anyways, so I was just showing these, my little Hello. Oh, this is the one where Jody Sue said that I'm marketing towards children and blah, and like as if nobody can like only children can like Hello Kitty. Then my Ziggy Piggy ashtray. And this awesome jewelry stand. You hang your necklaces. There's holes to put your earrings in. It's a jewelry tree that lights up. It's really cute. And I put the prices right here. Hello Kitty grinder. All this includes shipping. So, and also I can make you guys your own custom one too, probably for the same price. Her buckets are toxic. Right, Sunstar? I hope it was okay price. I'm trying to be reasonable. It takes it's a 2-day process on those bowls because you have to pour it first, and then it starts out like with a tray mold, and then the next day you form it, and because it's solid enough you can take it out of its mold, but it's still flimsy enough that you can form it. And that's also, you can like, a lot of times people paint the edges at that point and stuff. I have a friend that is older than you and her whole room is Hello Kitty. I'm sure her husband loves it. Shit buckets are toxic, right? So she wants people, of course, like anything. It's really strange. Like she wanted to just, why is she mad? Oh, and then I heard she said, what, fuck you, Fred and Ziggy, or something like that. Somebody told me that she said, fuck you, Fred and Ziggy.
She made a short of it or something.
And it's like, why? Why?
Something about Dawn and Candace, and then she said, and Fred and...
Oh, yeah, but there's also something else where she was saying, I guess, actually saying, telling, it's like, why? I don't understand why. I mean, you said Andy's a monster. You said that his desire for women got younger and younger and younger, and that, all this stuff about the van, those girls in the back of the van and selling drugs to the 110. We can go on and on. And then she's mad at us because, Fred's she's called Fred an asshole several times just because. Why? Because you wanted Fred to lie about Andy being on the road? I mean, there's cameras. You can't really lie about. There's cameras. Who you should be? What about all the people you've snitched on, Jody Sue, for over drugs to save your ass? You and Andy. That's an asshole move. We're just trying to help an investigation and don't get anything really but negative, a lot of stress and negativity, and hopefully eventually answers for Summer Wells.
Yeah, Mary said that Dawn was in Utah, but they said that he was...
Yeah, it takes a lot of resin, especially that... Yeah, they say he was at that church.
Yeah, Summer's birthday. Said that Candace wasn't there, but Dawn was there at the church. They videos of Dawn there.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have been in Utah and there at the same time.
But yeah, and the bowl especially takes a lot of resin.
A lot of resin.
Yeah. And resin's not cheap. Especially, yeah, Mary's got some news that she wants to talk to Chris McDonough about. I wonder what it is. Oh, where'd you hear that?
Probably on the lab the other night.
Mary was on the lab?
Yeah, with Chris McDonough.
No. This says Mary's got some news that she wants to talk to Chris McDonough about.
She probably told him that on the lab, to talk to her behind the scenes or something.
Oh.
But I think it was said while they was on panel on the lab.
Got a new girlfriend is probably freaking PG. Or one of these other freaking tramps out here, defending Don Wells. I think she's been kind of in and out. I think she's.
She said it on the interview. I was thinking lab.
Oh. What? Candace was at the lake on Summer's birthday. Donna's not here. I don't know where. What, Carolyn? I heard the opposite. I heard it was Dawn that was at the thing this year, and that Candace wasn't there.
At the church. What I was told. I don't know about
Oh, that Dawn was at some kind of thing for Summer Wells at the church. And that Candace wasn't there. So that's weird.
I don't know. That's just what we've heard. So whether any truth to it, we don't know.
Take one Pink Moon would be cool if there was a girl just getting with Dawn so they could find Summer. Yeah, taking one for the team, Oh, yeah. I mean, the price you'd have to pay, but. All right, guys, I'm going to go now, but thank you guys so much for hanging out. My looped video today something happened where it must after my computer went to sleep or something, it must have just stopped looping or something for several hours. And so because of that, one of my mods turned off commenting because it just was nothing going on. So that's why that happened. And then it came back on, I guess, when Fred woke up, and I think where he sits is next to the computer, and he might have tapped it or something, and maybe it, I don't know, bumped it and it started going again. That's the only thing we can think of.
A lot of time I rock his chair and it touches it. So
yeah. So I meant for it to play on loop all day with comments for you guys to just sit there and type whatever. That is a very big one for the team. I don't think I could do it, right? Mary said on the interview room that Don was up there now. See, I thought Mary said on the interview room that Don wasn't, that Don was up at Utah.
That's what that she tried to say, but she said she hadn't talked to him in 6 months either. So. You got to keep that skill.
But it's weird though. PG really wants people to believe that they're still together. Didn't she though yesterday?
Until yesterday, and then she tried to say that
now they're not together.
Supposedly Candace was she said that Candace was on camera or something, walking towards Ben Hill Road. I mean, not Ben Hill, but Beach Creek Road from Ben Hill. Walking off the hill and stuff or whatever with the backpack on. She just running her mouth, so all it was.
And his oldest son. How could his oldest? Oh, you mean the old? Yeah, Don. Okay, you mean the of age one. Okay, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, she said there's a lot of stuff going on up there or something with after her father passed or whatever.
Mm.
Don's oldest son, the youngest sister and stuff. Don's youngest sister.
No, Candace is in South Carolina, actually, Rhonda, which is another very strange thing. Allegedly, that's well, hell, I don't know. Maybe she's not now. I don't know, but allegedly that's where she was in South Carolina, which is funny because that's the same area that Grandish dropped off Jose, remember?
Yeah.
And also, so Grandis, when Jose left, dropped him off in South Carolina. Now, allegedly, Candace is in South Carolina. Also, I believe Candace is actually, I know a lot of Candace's father, like whether he's, I don't know if it's her real father. I get that confused, but a lot of her half siblings are out there in South Carolina, where I shouldn't say a lot. There's a sister and brother. But I believe she's staying with the sister, or there's a sister and brother-in-law out there. Oh, it's Don's son causing trouble since dad passed. Oh yeah, probably wanting things. It's crazy. The worst of the worst comes out in people when people pass away. Okay, Gina.
Young grouchy bugs. I'm just so jealous.
I wonder if the sisters are hiding something about Summer, right? Mary also seems strange about answering questions about Don. Just my thought. I wonder what part of South Carolina, right? He's an RSO. Who's that? Carrie. Oh yeah, Don's oldest son is an RSO. You didn't know Don's dad passed? Yeah, he passed somewhat recently, like a month or so ago, month or two ago.
About 2 months ago, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know the exact date, but it seemed like it's been almost 2 months.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go.
Or we're arguing who's gonna be on my lap. Quit.
Oh, hold on. You want to see it? We'll end the video with this fun stuff. What? No, don't get down.
He's like, I don't like it. He thought you was going in there in the kitchen.
I'm not going in the kitchen. Come on, people want to see you. Do tricks. Yeah, Bandit will sit there and pick on Athena and Athena just will take it and take it until she won't anymore. Look at her. What's going on now? Is he licking her ear or is he biting her?
He biting her on the jaw.
Poor Atheners.
That's sissy.
Look how chubby is Athena is getting. She's gotten a little bit chubbier.
Oh, she got quite a bit chubbier. She's spreading like crazy. He's gained weight too. People ain't never seen him frisky like he is sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I know Athena is really pretty.
Queen. She don't need a Q-tip.
I don't know. I can just stare and they just and watch them forever. I think they're just so funny. Athena's just like not bothered. She just totally like a Bandit will sit there and pull on her ears and her neck fat. Look at that. Poor Athena. So abused. Poor Athena. Look at her. She's like so annoyed. Look at Athena. Look how scary she looks when her mouth is like that. She is.
Just like brother and sister, always a picking on each other.
Look at that. But Athena's, very gentle with Bandit,
My babies. Don't be biting, sissy. I'm getting the triggers.
What's that? All right. Wait, is her things, her call or her collar, does it have her tags on it, or is that okay.
Yeah, they are. All her stuff on. His news too.
Oh yeah.
His when he got so much hair.
Athena will take it and take it and take it until she just gets annoyed and she'll.
One time she's rough with him when they're in the floor running. She tramples him.
No, look, Athena's.
She's trying to get my other hand.
Yeah, she wants you to pet her. That's what she's trying to get her to do. I could tell. And then they're going to fight over who you pet. Yeah, they're jealous of each other. They're going to think that tattoo in your hand is a gang symbol. They're going to think that tattoo on your hand is a gang symbol.
Yeah, they'll think it is. My 3 crosses. Now, it could be turned into one easy, but it ain't got the quotations on each corner.
Of what? For quotations.
Sissy squishing. She getting too close. She got you held down now, ain't she?
Oh.
She's got her foot on his tail where he comes it up.
He hates when he gets his tail stuck under things.
You can get up. She's off of you now.
Whoa! Okay, guys. Yeah, they love him. Pruitt really never knew Fred. Unless he's just watching YouTube. All right, guys.
I'm usually picking at him, doing something with him all the time.
Is there a new phone call with Andy B? No, I posted a phone call with. But anyways, guys, I'll talk to y'all later.